The new Trijicon RCR, $645. Why? The Trijicon RCR, $645 for an enclosed emitter from Trijicon, with some very funky mounting screws, a very unique shape, and there's a couple of things that are different on this gun, and I'm going to discuss those as we go. This is really going to be kind of a first impressions, and I'll do some follow-up as well on this red dot. It's one of those things that I want to see if the things that I have issue with now, having it just for a few days, will change as we go forward, because I now have all the current red dots on the market. I have a C&H review coming for the Duty. That's kind of the Acro clone. I've got a couple of different Chinese knockoff Acros that, surprisingly, the battery has gone over a year now. So that's gonna, we're doing one on that as well from the Siley Bear. So there's be some more enclosed options. A while back, we did some content to red dot or not to red dot. This time around, we'll do the same kind of roundup, but it'll be all enclosed emitter options because there are a lot now on the market. And I put a content post out for you guys on Instagram, and a lot of you guys came back with the Hollow Suns and the MPS and Steiners and all that. And those will all be included as we go forward. Where I kind of am stuck on is how did we get to $650 for this red dot? There are some websites that are showing $550, not in stock, but all the major players out there who are direct dealers are at $650 street price, and I'm sure there's probably going to be in that $620. I paid $620 shipped for this. I bought this one and this one, and the only reason I bought a second one is because one, I was able to through my buddy, and I wanted to have a red dot that I could actually have off a gun to show you some things that I have found so far. Let me start with SIG. And this is where you guys have to kind of understand when you are shopping, okay? This is something that I think is going to be a question for you, because even though this says mounting to all direct milled RMR cut guns and or guns that take an RMR footprint, which the RCR is. A couple things on the RCR, slightly large, slightly smaller window, which is a standard RMR size window on the front. If you look at the windows here on the front, both are very similar shape and size, but what's different is when you get to the back of the guns, you guys will see the window is taller, not by much. And we're going to talk about the height of the window and how it's centered in the rear, because that's where my eyes get a little bit wonky when I'm looking at the back of this dot. So I have a couple customers reached out in the past 2 weeks. They found RCRs as well. And what the issue was, when I got the 226 X5 Legion from SIG, I wanted to mount an RMR on it. The mounting plate that it came with, underneath this screw on the new slides, there are multiple sets of holes for mounting a red dot. Direct mount for Delta Point Pro footprints, and then a second set of holes for RMR footprint. I had to get the RMR to mount to the SIG slide, you have to use a proprietary thread pitch from SIG for the RMR mounting. These screws in here are from SIG. This plate is from C&H, and that's how I was able to bastardize 2 sets of mounting plates and screws to get the RMR to fit on the SIG pistol. What's happening to some of the guys out there right now is when they're trying to mount the RMR to the gun, they're having the same issues because the capsation screws, the caption screws. If I slander that, you guys, I apologize, but the proprietary screws that mount the RCR, you guys will see them here in the Prodigy. If you look in here, you'll see the screw head's got a little pass-through hole. And how that works is the screw goes into the slot here, and you use the Allen key to rotate it down. That screw style comes from the marine industry on boats for anchors, so you can wrench that to bring that up and let it down. So when you mount this screw to, say, a SIG product, the thread pitch on the gun, even though cut for RMR, is different than the thread pitch of the screws this optic comes with. And that's where we're seeing some hiccups. The two customers I spoke to, they both told me that Trijicon said they have the proprietary screws that match the thread pitch for the SIG. There is going to be some thread issues in regards to how you're going to get this mounted to the gun. When I tried to mount it to, say, the Langdon Tactical P3 or P30L, you'll notice how it drops onto the plate, and you guys probably won't see this. I'll probably try to bring it up as close as I can, but you'll see how the post is there. That post with the P30L uses a much narrower screw, similar to a Zev product. So that's going to present some mounting challenges with the RCR. You guys are going to need to do your homework on what gun you're going to mount this optic to ensure that once you get everything together and it arrives, you're able to actually mount to your gun. All right, so let's talk about what we see when we're looking from behind the pistol. I mount it to the Prodigy. It's not as distracting today on the range as it has been in dry fire, which may be a subconscious thing when I first saw it, because someone mentioned it as well. It is much taller at the top of the glass. Oftentimes people talk about acros, for example, where this black border is distracting to the eye. I don't find that, and I actually find that the acro is easier for me to shoot, and I don't have any issue with the border, but I believe it's because the border is equal all the way around the edge. When you look at the rear of the RMR or the RCR, you'll see, I'm gonna line up the glass a little bit here, and you'll notice how on the rear of the RCR, you have the window is set further down in the rear of the glass, not centered around this black border. This top edge is much thicker than way it looks in, say, an enclosed. The other kicker to that is it's damn near very similar in shape and look to the RMR. So I don't know why. I think it's more subconsciously, it was something that I heard and kind of put in my own brain looking for some issue. I don't think, after shooting it last couple of days, not that much of an issue. The window is slightly larger in width than the acro. Height-wise, pretty much the same. Going in closed or open, you know, this top battery thing, Holosun, you know, first to bring the battery, or Delta Point, I should say, probably Delta Point Pro, was the first that kind of top load option, and Holosun coming with a side load option. RMR still being removing the red dot and putting the battery back in. This feature, when I look at the two optics and we look at what we're investing money in, we're gun guys. We're gonna want the newest, coolest, latest thing. At $650, this is roughly $200 more than an RMR. They do the exact same thing. I personally have never had an issue with an open emitter red dot. I have good friends right now deployed in places that are much more austere environments than any one of us is working in right now. I have many friends who are law enforcement in my home state here with the rain, sleet, and snow, and then other places where it's humidity affecting, red dots and et cetera. But when you look at performance, are you getting any better performance with the RMR over the RCR or RCR over RMR? In my opinion, no. I get that we want the unobtainium, we want the cool factor, and someone's like, oh my God, this guy's got 2 RCRs. Oh, we'll figure out what we do with the second one. Probably gonna go to a buddy of mine who's been wanting one as well. But at the end of the day, when I look at these 2 products at $650, and let's just say street price gets at $620, still $620, that's 2 hollow sun red dots, pretty much. That's 2 EPS carries. That's 2 different dots. That's still less money than or more money than an acro, which I think the acro is a better built red dot than the RMR CC or RCR. I just think that you guys at home, this is an unbiased review. I wasn't sent this product. I had a relationship to Trijicon. I bought this one on my own. I bought this one on my own so that I could actually talk to you guys and share some opinion and some input on these pistols. Ask me would I do it a third time? Absolutely not. I would buy another acro. I would spend another I bought this one for $550. I have 3 now. I would buy a 4th acro to put on another offset on a rifle before I would go and buy one of these. I think there's a better built, better history in the enclosed emitter red dot with the acro P1 and P2 now than the first out the gate of an RCR, but that's my own opinion. Performance-wise, in open emitter, I still don't see why this is bad in any way. I see a lot of the excuses, oh, well, now I don't have to take the red dot off the gun to 0 or put the battery back in. We change tires, cat litter boxes, all kinds of things we do in our lives that require maintenance and effort so that we can use them. If this is an issue for you taking off to put a new battery in once a year and then re-zeroing that gun, that's on you. That's a choice you have to make. But at the end of the day, I still feel that there are better options in the open and better options in the enclosed than the $650 price tag of the RCR. That's what I got for you guys today. And again, I'm gonna come back with you guys in the future as I get more time. I'm gonna put this red dot on other pistols and I'll bring you guys some follow-up. And then during the red dot roundup that we do for the enclosed options, I'll bring you some options here to figure out the screws and screw options, etc. But that's kind of, going to be research on your part. This is a very unique mounting solution. It's a very well thought out mounting solution. But again, if you guys are chasing these, I'm still on 4 different wait lists. I don't know why this is taking so long to come out, which is also a concern. I also have the RMR HD, which review is coming on the RMR HD very soon. And that has a lot of cool technology in it as well. But man, why this has been a year plus to release, who knows? But again, at $650, that's a lot of change. And you guys decide, right? That's we're in the same boat. We both paid for these things, but it is a unique product, and I'll report back as time goes with how well this thing works out. But if you do like this content, subscribe to the channel. It'll notify you the next time I upload a video. Until next time, be well. Take care.